So I just want to talk about the two blocks of the deliberate practice here. The first one is intense focus, and then the second one is frequent discomfort, which fascinates me. If you make your body and mind or put yourself in an area of discomfort, your body and mind then searches for amazing next level creative solutions.
And he did this by activating what Anders would later call the 4 components of purposeful practice. His practice sessions were intense periods of undistracted focus. For an hour, all he would focus on was trying to remember digits. And lastly, he was constantly being pushed outside of his comfort zone by operating just on the edge of his abilities. And he frequently made mistakes. He would move up one, move up another, but then go back 2 if he failed. The structured approach of purposeful practice forced Steve's mind to come up with creative mental representations. The intense focus and the repeated discomfort basically conditioned his mind to believe that he didn't come up with a creative insight, he would continue to suffer. And since the mind is very resourceful, it was only a matter of time before he would have a creative breakthrough. He creatively came up with a way of seeing the numbers attached to branches of a tree. This was a mental representation to condense and simplify incoming information. He had to be frustrated enough to come up with a creative solution to get past his barriers. At 7 digits, he discovered a way to see 4 digits as a single unit. At 22 digits, he was able to mentally group 6 digits as a single unit. In other words, his limits were a technique issue, not an effort issue. After the experiment with Steve, Anders started another experiment with a guy named Dario, Steve's friend. This time, Anders had Steve teach Dario his method for encoding digits. With this head start, Dario was able to improve much quicker than Steve had. He got to 20 digits in only a few sessions, all because he was able to adopt Steve's mental representations. But beyond that point, Dario didn't find Steve's techniques that effective, so he had to come up with some of his own. But with that head start and with that framework to work on, Dario was able to recall 100 digits in his short-term memory. Anders Ericsson has found this to be the formula for deliberate practice: purposeful practice methods plus expert coaching. With this combination, you get the perfect formula for improvement. So if you're sick of putting in the hours and not improving at your craft, turn your time into a series of deliberate practice sessions like Steve Falloon experienced, and push yourself to discover new mental representations. At the end of the day, simply doing does not mean you're improving. Mastery is not just about putting in 10,000 hours. It's about 10,000 hours of deliberate practice. Anders says the right sort of practice carried out over a significant period of time leads to improvement. Nothing else will. That was a core message that I gathered from Peak. The book is written by the foremost expert on peak performance, and if you want to discover how far your abilities can go, I highly recommend picking up a copy of this book.